I'm Colonel Jeff Hogan, 355th Fighter Group Commander here at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. And I'm here today to talk about the gorgeous airplane AD-144. A little bit of history, and for those of you that are nerds about airplanes and tail numbers, there were 143 A-10s built in the 80-year group. First serial number was 140, so 144 was the fifth jet to be built that year. Kind of put that in perspective, that's 2 fighter wings worth of A-10s built in fiscal year 1980, and it's kind of amazing to think about that. Off the production line, it most likely went directly to USAF as part of the 81st TAC Fighter Wing at Bentwaters and Woodbridge. It was a Desert Storm veteran and fought with the 511th TAC Fighter Squadron. But in the early 90s, as we started to draw down military forces and we retired a bunch of A-10s, 144 stayed alive though and moved to Shaw Air Force Base as part of the 55th TAC Fighter Squadron. Shortly after that though, in the mid-90s, we moved the A-10s from Shaw to Pope Air Force Base, and 144 joined the 74th Fighter Squadron. And that's where my history with the airplane begins. I showed up at Pope in the summer of 1998 as a wet behind the ears lieutenant, excited to be in an A-10 squadron. And it was one of those times where the airlines were hiring like crazy and people were getting out really rapidly. So very early in 1999, I got assigned my own airplane, which was 144. And that's almost unheard of to have an airplane as a lieutenant, especially at the 6-month point. So my name went on the side of the jet as First Lieutenant Jeff Hogan. I got promoted to captain while I was there, so it said Captain Jeff Hogan on the side. And because sometimes the ops maintenance team were a little bit slow changing out names on airplanes after people PCS, my name stayed on the side of the airplane for the majority of the early 2000s. Right before I got back to the 74th in 2006, my name had just been taken off, but it got put right back on. Back in those days, before we had all the rules that we've got today, Pro Supers had a lot of authority to change what airplanes were in the lineup, so I tried to treat the Pro Supers well, and I got to fly 144 pretty much every day that I was out there if it was in the lineup. So if I look at my logbook, I have flown this airplane more than any A-10 out there. So not only did I get to fly this airplane a lot, I had a lot of important milestones in my career. I shot my first Maverick missile ever off of 144. I've crossed the ocean in both directions flying 144. I dropped my first bombs in Afghanistan and actually got a single mission air medal. Throughout the years, I've had some great crew chiefs. My first crew chief on this airplane was a gentleman named Ken Francis, who retired as a chief just a couple years ago. And my last crew chief was a guy named Neil Oltmer. And you'll notice that his name's misspelled on the side of the airplane, which is a running joke between he and I. But I was able to re-enlist Neil inside this airplane in Afghanistan in 2009, and that meant a lot to he and I. We were assigned to this airplane at both Hope and Moody Air Force Base before we flew to the Boneyard. When I got back to Moody in 2013, we found out that 144 was slated to come here to AMARG, so I respectfully asked to be able to be the guy that flew it out here. In May of 2014, I delivered 144 out here to AMARG. Kind of a little cool story is Neil Oltmer, who had been my crew chief, cross-trained and was a CE troop now at McConnell. So I was able to work with Transient Alert. I flew the airplane out here. I stopped at McConnell for the last gas and go, and TA let him launch his airplane out on the last sortie coming to Davis-Monthan. So you look, if you're able to take all the cool coating off and open the ladder door, you'd see that my name is sitting on the inside of this airplane, signed it when I dropped it off in May. She's definitely yours now. I here at AMARG, and I ask that you take great care of her. When somebody says your airplane, this is the one that I think about, and it means a lot to me, so I appreciate everything that you guys do for our country, and also the fact you're taking great care of my jet.